I just did the introduction there, and I noticed that my my mic was off. But welcome everyone to another technical Tuesday, right? It's a privilege to be with you again. For those of you who is new, right, and who's tuning in for the first time, my name is Coach Clayton, right, and I am responsible for the weekly outlook, right, and that is where we go over the symbols that that the students have seen through, right, and the students has joined our program, our course on how you can enhance your trading skill, and most importantly to be in a community of like-minded people, right. How many of you know that it's better to move with a community, right, that has the same mindset as you, right? And so if you are joining with me, just put a five in the chat, right? A five. I just want to see who's here. I would like to also greet you, right? Just put a five in the chat. And I'm seeing the admin is also posting stuff there in the chat. But let's put a five, a five, a five, right? And let me know if you can hear me as well. Right? Just let me know if you can hear me. Um, yeah. And I'm just looking at my okay, there we go, there we go. Yes, okay, I'm sounding good. Okay, okay, yeah. Also, I am from South Africa, right? Cape Town, the most beautiful city in the world. I had to be biased there. I know. New York is before us, but we second in the world. But yeah, we the top five. But yeah, I hope you will enjoy this. Also, just a recap as well. From what we got in during the weekend from the students. Um, Obviously, like I said, if you're tuning in for the first time, we go over the Dixie, right? The Dixie is a clear denominator across all instruments within the market, whether that be futures, indices, stocks, forex as well. I see a comment is coming through that say that New York City has nothing on Cape Town. Beauty. That is true, right? On the beauty part, that is true. I won't deny that. Yeah. Where was I? Yes, on the Dixie, right? The Dixie is known also for the dollar. So, however the Dixie or the dollar moves, right? It has a negative or a positive impact within the market, and we will go over that within this live stream. Then we have the NAS 100, right? Um, and then we also have the triple Q, which we're also gonna do, right? But just a heads up that the triple Q follows the NAS 100, right? It follows that. Um, and I know it's I see a comment that also coming through that it is saying that there is free gems. That is very true. If and I think Coach Brian always say this, I give the game away. Right on this live stream, I give the game away. But however, you need to know what I'm saying, right? So I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot say the market will do that, and all of that things. But I will give you hints, right? And so yeah, let's kick it off, right, for this live stream. So I will just hide my face there so we can have a better view on the chart, right? Um, there we go, there we go, there we go. Okay, so we're on the Dixie, aka the dollar, right? I want to go for a high time frame for this. I want to go to the daily time frame. And what I've alluded to the students across the weekend is that it is an uptrend, right? So we have a high, we have a higher low, we have a high again, we have a higher low, and then we have a high, and then it made a higher low. Once more, it made a high, right? And now, for the students who was in class, Coach Edwin was speaking about, when the correction happens, right? We have a continuous within the trend, but now remember this correction is happening, couple of days, right? So remember we want a daily time frame, and you can even count how many days this is. I think it's just like 2 weeks in accounting, if I'm not mistaken, right? And then remember, a week consists of 5 days on a currency pair, right? Um, and so yes, so now we have this correction over a few days, right? And now it is where price action is. So on the daily time frame, we now highlight this particular section, right? And so price action terminated this uptrend, which is this arrow showing right over there. It terminated and it's still going down. Now I'm gonna go to the 4 hour just to bring it a little bit more home, and on a lower time frame as well. We are seeing that it broke, right, the uptrend, but now remember, price action is also highlighting a downtrend, right? And this area it is over here. This is a downtrend that is happening, right? Um, it can be, yes, it is a downtrend on the lower time frames, right? And so with our course we'll also teach you how to identify a correction, and identify trends, and so for me you can have a major trend and you can have a minor trend, right? So the major trend is the overall trend, and the minor trend can be your correction. And so we are seeing this downtrend happening, right? And by the way, this is a minor trend, um, and it is forming this particular downtrend, right? For this down, yeah. I'm just highlighting the downtrend line, right? And so once we have that, I can delete that for a moment. But I also want to highlight this as well. I say that price action will reach possibly to this supply zone and then drop. However, it continued to drop, right? It continued to drop, um, and that was respecting again this particular downtrend line. In other words, this correction. But I also delete this as well so we can have a nice picture in front of us, right? So what I would do is this: I would just extend that more down, and I did tell our students that it can possibly, make an inverse, head and shoulders, right? And that is why I said it can break this correction, this downtrend, and reach this area of supply, right? The supply zone. And if you're still a little bit confused, I can even draw out this particular demand zone in which I say that, right, for the inverse head and shoulders. So that particular pattern didn't work out as we anticipated, right? However, we want to see where price action is going now. And so once we see on our chart, and I do want to highlight our next opposing demand zone, and that is this particular demand zone at the bottom of our screen. And you know, if you want to go to lower time frame to the 1 hour as well, even on a 15 minute, um, we can see where is that area, right? So we can even highlight this particular this demand zone as well, right? And which you can see the price action is missing it by a few pips, right? But however, we can go back to the 4 hour just to give a nice framework of how price action can um, operate within the next coming days. So we can see this as well, and we can see price action. It can reach to this. Before I do that, I want to highlight this as well. This particular supply zone, and just drop that a little bit more down there, all right, like that. So we have seen that price action, approximate entry regarding that supply zone. If you trade it on the currency pace, right? Let me just see where. Okay, here we go. So price action can reach to the supply zone once more. It can play in this area and it can, break that supply zone and reach our next opposing supply zone, right? The reason why I'm saying that is because price action is taking long, right? In terms of lower lows, lower highs, right? Of where price action is at, right? So for me, that is taking too long, right? So that is why we can anticipate a breakout to the upside. However, we must also ask ourselves: is it coming from a strong demand zone as well? So if price action do drops to this demand zone and they start to play in this particular area, it can drop, right, and it reach our next opposing demand zone as well. Also, price action can drop to this demand zone and have a retracement as well. So there's three ways in which how price action can operate, right, according to the Dixie, um, and that will determine how the market will operate, right? And so if you still getting value with me, I just want to see who's still with me. You can just put a six in the chat. Um, a six in the chat. I thank you for that comment. Coach Samuel always dropping gems. I appreciate that. Um, yeah. So I see 1 6. Let's see the sixes, right? Also agree, get understanding as well. Just drop a six. Okay, there I see a six. Okay. So that can, this is how the market can operate. And if you are willing, you can also go to the Forex Factory and just see where is our rate files. Um, and we are on the 27th of we're on the 27th of February, right? And so there we have it, right? So this was today. Now, um, the reason why this is a weekly analysis, I want to see where is the big rate files regarding the dollar, right? Um, and I like to, right? So this coming Tuesday, we have an unemployment claims. That's a very big one, right? It can determine how price action will move, right? So it's not tomorrow, in 2 days' time, how price action will move regarding this price action, and then that will kick off, right? So for Thursday, didn't want to see Friday as well, but what I want to highlight to you is go to next week Friday, which is your non-farm payroll, right? That is a very important rate file for the dollar, and also the unemployment rate as well. So that's next week. And so if you're clever, you want to see how to how does the weekly time frame closes for the Dixie, right? And so we can even go there as well. And so we are on a weekly time frame, and how this week closes will possibly show you how next week will operate, right? So that's just another hint for those of you who are watching, right? So we have that under our belt regarding the Dixie. We have the NAS 100, right? And we're on a 4 hour, but I will do the same as I did with the dollar. I want to go to my daily time frame, right? And we have seen one, two, three. We have seen three candles. In other words, 3 days in which price actions sit in this particular range, right? And now we can go to our 4 hour time frame as well. And you can even highlight this as a particular consolidation, which you may. I'm actually going to draw out a particular box over here just to highlight that as well. It's over there, right? Um, it's over there, right? So that is can be our consolidation happening, right? And now what will price action do regarding this? And what I noticed, we have a hour and a half, right? So hour and 35 minutes until the day closes, right? And a new day, a new um, market session will open as well. So remember, you're on a 4 hour. Another hint that I will give to you is the way how the 4 hour candle closes, right? Remember, the candle before that, um, this was the opening, and this was a closing, right? So our next candle, which is we're currently on the green one, it opened over there, and now it's more or less closing at our previous open, right? And our students will also tell you what this means. It can be, it can mean a lot of things. It can mean strength, etc., etc. But if we go to the 2 hour time frame, I say that price action can drop to this demand zone, right, and it can have a retracement to the supply zone. In actual fact, it had, right, but it dropped again, and now we can see the consolidation happening, right, within the market. What we will notice also is that when we see that on a 4 hour price action close at this close proximity to this supply zone, and it continues to play right in this area, there's a possibility that price action can, you know, bake to the upside and go long, and that will equal strength, right? Because in actual fact, what price action is actually doing, it is having a rally, it is having a base, our core formations that we teach, and then it is having a rally once more. Now that can mean something, right? So let's have a look at that, students, as well, on the chart. However, if price action do drop, right, and it goes short within the market and it start to play in this particular demand zone, it can carry on and it can drop once more to our next opposing demand zone, right? So it will carry out this particular pattern within the market, right? Um, so let's have a look at that, within your trading plan, within your trading journal as well. And lastly, I don't want to keep you long, right? We have the triple Q, and like I said, it follows the NAS 100. Also for this, I told the students, right, regarding the hidden shoulders, right? So there we have our left shoulder, there we have our right shoulder, right? And possibly your left shoulder will touch this particular uptrend, right? And it can continue high. So that's an uptrend. And once you have that, right, and you can now dive into a closer look at how sorry, let's say price action, how price action is forming. Yo, guys, forever who's watching this, and the students will tell you this. This is something that we taught last week, right? And I'm not gonna say, how to trade it and stuff like that. But for our students, um, we know that that is a cap, right? And so you, for our students, will know that that's a gap, and how you trade a gap is very important, right? It can also represents unfold orders as well. So just have that in mind. And I have spoken about this regarding our weekly outlook, right? So yeah, I just wanted to share that as well. And so while we have that, right, you can see that price action is also sitting in this consolidation area, right? And that can also mean something because now it is also correlating to the NAS 100, right? Let me show you that particular box once more, right? And if we go to the triple Q again, it is also showing we are having a rally, we are having a base, right? And it can possibly have a rally once more, right? So that is what I'm seeing within the market, and that is also, yeah, there's nothing else because if you follow the triple Q with the NAS 100, you can correlate the two together and you can do your trades, right? So, with no further ado, that is it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed the live stream, right? And you took some notes. So, yeah, just put something in the chat there for me if you found value within this live recording, right, on Technical Tuesdays. I just want to see the comments, and that is it from me for tonight or for today. I know it's evening on my side, but it can be afternoon on your side, right? So yeah, I see this as it's a great stream. Thank you for that. I hope you took some nuggets and great advice, right? It's the way how the market moves, and I hope you have a wonderful trading week. And there is something special. I don't want to say it, right, but next week, stay tuned. There's gonna be a huge announcement. Not even the students know about this. But just stay tuned for that as well. So just hang around in this group, right? There will be some great information that's gonna be shared, and I'm also excited for that, right? So thank you, team, and thank you everyone who's tuning in. Have a blessed day further, um, and yeah, I will see you next week, same time, right? So take it easy, team. Bye.